WP. You are a supervillain, and for your latest diabolical scheme, you've kidnapped the hero's dog to lure them into a trap. Except it turns out the hero doesn't care about the dog. You take offense to this.
I'd been pacing around the trap room for too long at this point, hadn't I? I never wore a watch while I was at work. It clashed with the chaotic aesthetic, but I could feel the hours fading away. Meanwhile, the Dalmatian I'd stolen was still sitting in a plush chair, patiently waiting for its owner to arrive. It would have been in danger, but I'd turned off the saws a while ago when they seemed to be making the dog uncomfortable. Before anyone starts, I know. I'm aware that stealing a dog was a new low, even for me. Robbing a bank? Boring. Blowing up a small island? Pedestrian. Stealing a dog? Monstrous. I understood this truth, but I'd had a bad week and I needed a fight. Taking Vanquish's dog seemed like the surefire way to guarantee an instant battle. But here I was coming up on the end of the day, and I hadn't as much as heard from Vanquish. After the first hour, I'd checked Twitter to ensure there wasn't some sort of team-up going on. Then, I followed the local news, but nobody was stupid enough to cause trouble in this city, but me. Vanquish had nothing going on today, and here I was, staring at his dog. The dog laid down on the seat I'd sat him on and stared at me with pouting eyes. I stopped my incessant pacing and matched his gaze for a moment. "Hey, look, I'm waiting for him too. We're in the same boat here. Stop looking at me like that." Despite my protest, the dog didn't stop looking at me like that. I tried pacing again, but each time I turned, I ended up glancing back in his direction. On the third time around, I groaned. Fine. Fine. I pulled out the intercom I held in my pocket. It wasn't part of the costume, and sent out a call. "Hey, Sandra, yeah, it's me. No, he's still not here. Can you pick up and bring by like a burrito or something? I think we're both hungry." Half an hour later, I was perched up on the chair with the dog. Despite having spent hundreds of hours in my lair, I'd never been on this side of the damsel chair. The view wasn't bad. All of the lasers looked great from this side. The dog had cuddled up to me at this point. A half-eaten burrito slobbered mostly across his face, partially on the chair. At one point, I'd started instinctively petting him, but I'd stopped myself. Attachments were unprofessional. That said, "This is getting stupid," I said as I tossed the rest of my burrito down to the alligator pit. "Where the hell is Vanquish? He's usually here in minutes." I pulled out my phone again to bring up the local news, and the first article at the top of the page, written by Vanquish's little girlfriend, kicked me out of the chair and toward my death ray. That a-hole was at a fundraising dinner for the mayor right now. I had his dog, and he was ignoring us for a fundraiser at, I checked the article, $2,000 per plate? That was just obscene at that point. I looked back at the dog on the chair. It was staring at the gap in the floor, down at the alligators and patting its feet, trying to figure out if it could jump after me. Why didn't Vanquish care? Why didn't... Want to know what? F it. F the handshake deals. F the rules. This guy didn't care about his dog. He was going down, whether it was in the middle of a charity dinner or not.